In 1997, a 22-year-old artist launched a story that would go on to sell more than 600 million copies. That story was One Piece, and today it stands as the best-selling manga in history and the best-selling comic series ever printed in volume form. Here is why that matters. Very few creators reshape an entire medium. Eiichiro Oda did it with a single ongoing work, and he has been named one of the artists who changed the history of manga. The finding is simple but staggering in scale. In July of 1997, written and illustrated by Eiichiro Oda, One Piece debuted in Shueisha's Weekly Shōnen Jump. It has been serialized there ever since. Its chapters have been collected into 114 Tankōbon volumes as of March 2026, and with more than 600 million copies in circulation worldwide, Oda ranks among the best-selling fiction authors alive.
The van to get this thing. Campsite 6.
The story itself follows Monkey D., Luffy and his crew, the Straw Hats, as Luffy searches for a legendary treasure called the One Piece, hoping to become the next king of the pirates. It was licensed for English release in North America and the United Kingdom by Wikimedia and in Australia by Madman Entertainment. What began in a weekly Japanese anthology became a global phenomenon. The man behind it had decided on this path remarkably early. Eiichiro Oda was born on January 1, 1975, in Kumamoto, Japan. At the age of 4, he resolved to become a manga artist for a very practical reason. He wanted to avoid ever having to get a real job. His biggest influence was Akira Toriyama and the series Dragon Ball. And his fascination with pirates, the idea that would define his life, was probably sparked by a popular television animation series called Vicky the Viking. The path to jump was fast. At 17, Oda submitted a work titled Wanted, and it won several awards, including second place in the coveted Tezuka Award. That recognition landed him a job at Weekly Shōnen Jump. He started at the bottom, working as an assistant manga artist. First, he assisted Shinobu Katani on the series Suizan Police Gang, then moved on to work with Masaya Tokihiro on Jumbo King Tar-chan, learning the craft page by page before his own creation took over the world. Consider the machine he entered. Weekly Shōnen Jump is a weekly shonen manga anthology published in Japan by Shueisha under the Jump line of magazines. Its stories are built on action and a healthy dose of comedy, and the chapters that run inside it are gathered into Tankōbon Volumes under the Jump comics imprint every 2 to 3 months. It is one of the longest-running manga magazines anywhere, with its first issue released on July 11, 1968. Into that decades-old engine, a young artist dropped a story that would outlast and outsell nearly everything around it. To grasp just how dominant One Piece became, look at the company it keeps. Among the best-selling Japanese manga series ever measured by collected volume sales, every title on the list has at least 20 million copies in circulation. One Piece sits at the very top of that ranking with more than 600 million. It is not merely popular. It is the benchmark against which every other series is measured, the highest sales estimate reported for any collected Tankōbon run. What makes the number even more striking is that the series is still going. This was not a finished work counting up a final total. As of early 2026, the story continues, the volumes keep arriving every few months, and the circulation figure keeps climbing. A 4-year-old's stubborn refusal to get a real job has become one of the most successful creative projects in the history of publishing. And Luffy has not yet found the treasure. The voyage that started in a 1997 magazine is still, remarkably, sailing forward. That's it for this one. Watch this next. Why news of the world die, the $1 million scandal.